What's going on, y'all? It's the kid J Nolan here. As y'all should know by now, this channel has become a very avid supporter of the Beehive, Beyonce, all things Beyonce. We get a lot of good reactions to things that go on in her career. I did 2 previous videos talking about the songwriters that were a part of the Renaissance Act 1 project. I also did a video update about the songwriters that are allegedly going to be a part of Act 2, or whatever the next project from Beyonce ends up being, whether that's Act 2 or Act 3. Of course, her album cycle does consist of 3 parts. We also spoke about how Khalees was mad as hell over the fact that there was a small interpolation of her song Milkshake in Energy. Beyonce clapped back very quickly and silently, took it out and went about her business and let Khalees be mad on her front porch. In the collection of disgruntled artists that have been sampled on the Beyonce album, Right Said Fred has actually come out and said some disparaging comments about Beyonce and her team about the interpolation that was used on Alien Superstar. You know, I'm too sexy for my... Yeah, I ain't gonna go too far because they might get mad at me, you feel me? But of course, we all know Drake and Future used the sample, the actual sample, not even just an interpolation. However, they feel some type of way about being used on the Beyonce album. They're claiming that they were not even notified. Let's take a little trip back into Father Time real quick and see if that's even true. So at the BMI Music Awards, Right Said Fred brothers, Fred and Richard Fairbanks, they came out and expressed their annoyance of being used on the Beyonce song. They say, normally the artist approaches us, but Beyonce didn't because she is such an arrogant person. She just had probably thought, come and get me, so we heard about it after the fact when you did. To use our melody, they need our permission, so they send us the demo and we approve it, and if so, we get a co-write credit. They're talking about how the typical sampling process goes on in the music industry, right? With this Beyonce thing, there are 22 writers. It's ridiculous. So we would get about 40p. The reason that this is happening, we think, is because there is so little money now in the actual sales. People like friends, golfing partners, engineers, bookers, and the guy who brings the coke, they all want a cut. They even tried to use Beyonce's star power and said that they've been forced to let this go as an issue because they cannot have a conversation with somebody who has, quote unquote, a lot more presence, power, and money. People seem very appalled at the fact that 22 writers are being credited on Beyonce's songs, but people that work in the music industry know how easy it can be to have 22 writer credits, whether that be Beyonce herself, the producer, there's co-producers on every song. If you look at hip hop, pop, all of the different genres of music today, nobody is just going in their studio and just crafting tracks beginning to end by themselves. You got somebody on the drum pad, you got somebody on the synthesizer, you got somebody on the piano, you got somebody on the guitar. All these people got to be paid, and not everybody is okay with just getting a session fee. You got vocalists, you got background vocalists, you got vocal arrangers. Again, all these people don't just want to get one-time fees, and sometimes in the landscape of the album, it's better and easier to give them credit rather than just trying to pay a lump sum up front. Now, I don't know the last time Right Said Fred actually put out a record for them to actually know how that process goes nowadays, but it might behoove them to actually get in touch with what's going on today in the music business, right? Now, according to Beyonce's team and representatives, they're saying that these claims are erroneous and incredibly disparaging. As a matter of fact, they say permission was not only granted for its use, but they publicly spoke of their gratitude for being on the album, which they did. They released a tweet that said it was nice to get writing credit on a Beyonce album. At that point in time, it was acknowledged, it was taken care of, and they tweeted out their support. They continue. For their song, there was no sound recording usage, meaning there was no sample. You see, I keep using the word interpolation. Only the composition was utilized. This accusation is fake. And to take this confirmation even further that Right Said Fred brothers were paid, compensated, properly notified, and everything, permission was asked of their publishers on May 11th, 2022, and the publisher approved the use on June 15th, 2022. They were paid for the usage in August 2022, the statement continued. Furthermore, the copyright percentage of the Right Said Fred writers with respect to the use of I'm Too Sexy, the song that was interpolated in this record, is a substantial portion of the composition. Collectively, the Right Said Fred writers own more than any other singular writer and have co-writer credit. Again, this accusation is false. But at this point, I'm guessing that Right Said Fred, all right, Future and Drake made a song out of it. It got some type of popularity in the hip hop crowd, got played on some radio stations, you know what I'm saying? But when Beyonce takes your record and makes it an anthem, you now are playing with the territory of her song is probably now bigger than the original. And that's why they mad, because they got paid, they got credited, they got notified, all of these different claims that they're actually negating in this statement and is being refuted with receipts. So the only logical thing left is the fact that they're mad that this black lady just used our flow, our melody, took it, flipped it, and made it better and made it more popular in this new generation. Basically, they feel like they're getting erased. And the only thing that I could say to that is, welcome to one piece of being black, right? Because that's what happens to us in our culture all the time. That's what happened to the Migos flow when pop stars start doing triplet on their songs, knowing they got it from the Migos. But the Migos was only able to reach a certain demographic. But now you get all these other people and do the same thing, and it goes on pop radio. Not to mention when y'all actually start working with hip hop artists, but the radio stations only play the part where the singing is. The rap part gets cut out, the whole 16 bar verse, and they go right into the hook like we was never on this song. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how y'all glorifying Elvis with a new movie when his whole style, swag, sound, and everything was taken from black people. So now y'all done opened up a can of worms that y'all really should have just been eating at the crib. But again, anytime Beyonce does something, it's going to be big. It's going to be pandemonium. It's going to be ceremonious. And like I said, the homies is just mad, fam. Can't be playing with folks like that, because some people documenting stuff out here just in case you try. And she already went through it with Khalees early in the album cycle. So anybody else that comes out talking crazy, they're going to get handled with very fast. But now I've said everything that needs to be said about the subject, so y'all go ahead and chime in down below. Let me know what y'all think down below in the comments. Do you feel like Right Said Fred is right, or do you feel like Team Beyonce is right? Do you feel like they're lying when they say that they've already paid them, credited them, and given them the proper notification? You can't lie about the publisher, because if the clearance is there, all you gotta do is pull up the emails. Why do you guys think that Right Said Fred took this time at this moment to come out and say these things, and to even make some sort of reference or accusation that the people bringing the coke in are also getting paid? Who's ever said that Beyonce is using cocaine in the studio, or cocaine at all in life? What part of the game is that? Make sure that y'all like and share this video for me, man. And if this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that post notification bell so you get all updates as soon as they go live. You don't want to miss it, man, because I'm talking about music entertainment and music business information at all times on this channel. You definitely want to stay clued in and locked in, because we're going to be discussing everything, getting down to the nitty gritty from the perspective of somebody who works in the music business, knows what's going on, and understands how publishing works. So you ain't got to get no more secondhand opinions from people on Twitter that really don't know what they talking about. You feel me? I'm going to catch y'all on the next one, man. Much love and respect. Peace.